Hello everybody, welcome to Second Language Acquisition with me, Professor ClarkvonHeller. We're so glad to have you today as we see this amazing phenomenon which is taking place worldwide called Second Language Acquisition. Do you know that English is the most popular and powerful language in the world? It's also the fastest growing language, and it's the largest second language in the world. More money is spent on learning English than all other languages put together. Why? Of course, English means wealth and popular culture. Let's take a moment to examine first language acquisition, how babies acquire language. We have some wonderful leaders in this field, and these are Skinner, Piaget, Vygotsky, and Chomsky. All babies learn language essentially the very same way. Babies acquire language naturally. Students, however, learn language artificially. Children are inundated with beautiful language coming from their caregivers, usually their mother. It's learned naturally. Unfortunately, in school, foreign languages, or in this case English language, is learned artificially. We try to set up situations as best we can, but it still has to be learned artificially. The language skills from the bottom of the screen up are listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Now, 2 of these skills are natural, and 2 are not. Which 2 do you think are natural? Listening and speaking are natural. Reading and writing, the 2 literacy skills, of course, are not natural at all. Let's look at the stages of first language development, how children or adults, children. Let's look at the stages for children as they develop their first language. From the bottom, first of all, they're silent and receptive. Of course, they're babies. They're learning. They're absorbing. And then we have early production, where they try to imitate their caregivers, their mother, their grandparents, their brothers, their siblings. And number 3, speech emergence. Number 4, intermediate fluency. And of course, advanced fluency. Now, the stages in second language development are similar, but not exactly the same. The first one is pre-production. And our second language learners also usually go through a silent period. They're scared to death as adults when they walk into an ESL classroom, and they're silent for good reasons. The second stage is early production, trial and error, and adults are more willing to try the language than kids usually, because they see a need for it. Number 3, speech emergence, and 4, intermediate fluency, and 5, advanced fluency, and those are basically the same as in first language acquisition. Did you know that 1 out of every 10 students in the United States currently enrolled in public education is an English language learner? That's just under 5 million students. This map shows you California has the largest, with 21%. 1/5 of their entire population enrolled in public schools are learning English as a second language. And in Texas, 16.8. In North Carolina, 6.6. Virginia, 8.5. New York, 8. Minnesota, 8.2. Washington State, 10.4. Florida, huge state for English as a second language, 9.6. And surprisingly, perhaps to some, Georgia, 6.4. It may surprise some to realize that in Dalton, Georgia, 1/4 of the entire population now is Hispanic. How can we teach the English language learners? That is our conundrum. Many use the natural approach by Stephen Krashen, which is very effective, having to do with comprehensible input. The audiolingual method listening labs, very traditional, used by millions of people to learn second language. Grammar translation method is where we utilize workbooks. Imitation method exercises poetry, music, drama, real-life scenarios. This one is also very, very popular, but it's time-consuming, especially on the part of the teacher for preparation. Picture dictionaries and online sources, of course, are also wonderful ways in which to learn the second language. Now to recap, first and second language acquisition share some steps together. Identifiable stages of language acquisition occur naturally. 4 language skills occur naturally. Teachers strive to make second language acquisition as natural as possible to expedite learning using a variety of ESL strategies for instruction. And this has been Second Language Acquisition with Professor ClarkvonHeller. We hope that you have enjoyed this presentation. Be sure to join us on our YouTube channel, also by the same name, ClarkvonHeller. Wishing for you and yours a very happy day as you learn language, first language or second language.